Holy Mario's exact geographical location may or may not be known at this current place and time, Batman! Tiki here, and I have been watching through each and every episode of Batman Beyond for the first time. I can tell him why we're here.
Well, you see, folks, long ago, I made a vow to educate Tiki in the ways of Batman the Animated Series, serving as his spirit guide to Gotham in a way, but that was the past, and we must now enter the Batman's future.
And tonight we take a look at the season 2 penultimate episode that asks one simple, daring, and very important question. Where's Terry? Oh, yeah. All right. So, yeah, Dragon, not that holy. Yeah, I could have workshopped it a little bit. I don't know. I just wanted to do like a spin on the Mario is missing thing. Like, it was going to be Mario is missing for a long time, but I was like, you know what? I can plus it, but I probably went too far at a few places, to quote George Lucas. Anyways, yeah, this is a highly anticipated episode for us, and I like this episode a lot for sure. I got to tell you though, on the coming off the heels of the last episode we covered, obviously that one a big Bruce Wayne episode. This one also another big Bruce Wayne episode, but not quite as pathos filled. So I enjoyed this one quite a lot, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I got spoiled on the last episode just a little bit, and maybe that mixed with, just the heavy anticipation. Still a very solid episode. Maybe not like the end-all, be-all standout of season 2, but still very good. Excited to talk about it. Not jumping up and down about it, though.
Okay. So, a little context, a little backstory on this one. So this was directed by the same director as Payback, the Korean animator turned director, Kuyun Won Lim, did Payback and Armory. This is written by by Stan Berkowitz, writer from Berk.
Indeed.
Of course, now the big thing with Stan Berkowitz did Shriek, Babel, and April Moon. 3 really good episodes, 2 of which feature, you guessed it, Shriek.
Mm-hmm.
Studio worked on this, Tiki. Stay with me, man. Okay. Studio worked on this. It was Coco and a little bit of Dong Yang.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even know how to act fake shocked anymore, Dragon. I feel like we've dragged that joke as far as it will go.
Wait, you were faking? All right, no, not a whole lot in the backstory. This one's a few notes, just a few things to note, 3 little fun facts, if you will. One, last speaking appearance of Shriek. Of course, the whole reason Shriek is in this episode, he was a creation by Stan Berkowitz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, hence, basically Stan Berkowitz was lucky enough to write all the Shriek episodes. We had a special guest star. We had not only Michael Rosenbaum coming back, and again, this is just them really liking Rosenbaum, and kind of makes you think, like, okay, we're doing Justice League. We really like working with Rosenbaum. Let's give him a role. What are we going to give him? Let's give him the Flash. He did great with it, but we have a guest star this episode. The voice of Dak. Tiki, did you recognize the voice of Dak?
I can't say I did.
Eli Marienthal. Do you know that name?
I can't say that I do. I'm sorry.
Okay, Hogarth Hughes from The Iron Giant.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you
go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Almost kind of makes me want to rewatch the episode with that context in mind.
Oh yeah. Lastly, first time Bruce Wayne and Maxine Gibson are in the same space for the first. They've been on comms like once before. It was the first time they're actually interacting completely.
Mm-hmm. All right. We got Kogias in the comments. He's saying the thumbnail is hilarious. Bruce is so mad to see Max. Also, it looks like Bruce is wearing the phrase "Where's Terry" on his jacket.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's break it down.
Okie dokie. Yeah, get right into it. So, honestly, Dragon, you know what? I think the reason why this episode didn't I really do like this one, but it's not one of my favorites of season 2. It's kind of like in the middle if I were to rank all my season 2 episodes. I think it's simply this. It's that, well, I do like the Terry stuff in the episode. I think I was going into the episode expecting it to be more of a bottle episode with just Max and Bruce. So the fact that we do have the episode pretty split, it's not even the episode's fault. It's more so just kind of like like tempering my expectations sort of thing. But anyways, we start things off with a date night. Terry, Max, Dana, and Howard are all going to see a movie.
Possibly Casablanca. So here's the thing. It's either Casablanca, because there's 2 movies. It looks like there's 2 movies on the bill. Now, one of them is Casablanca, which I don't know if that is a Warner Brothers movie or not. My assumption is it is, which is why we're able to
I think it is. I think back in the day it was RKO, but I think Warner Brothers owns it.
Yeah, that's the thing. RKO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Casablanca or Midnight Show, Rotten Horrid.
Oh God!
Basically, I forget if it's Rocky Horrid or something. Basically, it's a parody of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Jesus Christ!
So that's so basically it's kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Or so, which one do you think they're Max is asking?
I mean, I would guess the Casablanca out of the 2. I would guess so.
I would like to think so, but we don't know. All right, so we have a genuinely nice Terry and Dana moment. Because again, we got to remember, Dana's around.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've really done anything with Dana. I feel like she's kind of been on the back burner for most of season 2.
And this has been my go-to. This is honestly one of the nicest Terry and Dana moments in the show. This moment here, it's really nice.
It is. It is.
Just it's nice, going out with him for a change. She says, and Dana's, she says she understands why he can't always be around, but she hopes it's worth it. And we have this really nice, kind of genuinely romantic moment of Terry, he's saying, well, most of the time, but not right now, and he goes in for the kiss, all romancy, and it's a cutesy little moment. But I love that we just.
Okay, go ahead.
I love how we pan over.
Yes,
zoom out.
Yes.
We have Max and Howard.
The episode doesn't even really linger on it or make it that much of a gag. It just kind of like acknowledges, like, yep, Howard and Max are kind of like equally third wheels in this situation.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Dragon, I want to make the point again. Like, we do this whole to-do about Dana and Terry, but I'm 100% Terry Max. I'm 100% a Terry Max.
I am shocked you feel that way. I mean, not at this point.
1,000%. I am full-blown team Terry and Max, and I think this episode proves it. Was Dana out there trying to find Terry?
She doesn't know.
Well, did she even suspect that he was missing?
Yes, she did.
Okay, well, I don't know, Dragon. I just think the fact that
she's worried that he's missing. That's what we have many points of this in the episode. She's worried that he's missing.
Okay, you can't say we have many points in the episode. That
we have at least 2 to 3 points.
She drops out pretty quickly after the first act, Dragon.
What else do you want? Just like she's in.
Look, I'm just all I am saying is that this is the kind of episode.
You want 2 search parties?
Maybe she goes with Max. Maybe there's another. I don't know.
Then she's going to have to deal with Bruce Wayne. How's Bruce Wayne going to deal with Dana?
Well, maybe I'd like to find out. By the way, Dragon, how do you feel about the movie Old Dads? All right, anyways.
Old dads can't just get you out of everything. Only on Father's Day, really.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. We should just do a fucking Old Dads podcast for Father's Day. That is an idea. Oh, God. Okay, Kogia says, Dana, Terry, how come you're spending more time with Max than with me? Terry, it's not because I'm Batman. It's because I'm cheating on you, like I did with Melanie. Who? All right.
So, okay, anyway, after our kind of awkward, Howard and Max gag, I always love this directorial choice here. We linger on like the last time we're seeing Terry. Like they're all like, Dana and the company. Oh, look, there he is. I just for the episode and building to the big line. There's Terry. I just love that. Like, okay, audience, there's Terry. There's the last time we saw him. He's
It's like a Dr. Seuss book. It's like, there's Terry, and then the next page, where's Terry?
So just the great move, like, but seriously, it is kind of like a nice, like, oh, look at Dan, she's in love with Terry, and just watch him go down the escalator and everything. And it's like, oh, look at the happy-go-lucky bat boy just go down the escalator, and he leaves for the subway. But then Terry spots someone in a trench coat, clearly suspicious. The man who posed for the stranger danger sign from a distance.
Yes, that guy. Yes,
yes. So it seems familiar, and he follows him down the tracks. Then the next day, so good mystery opening. Like, okay, so Terry, in his civilian garb, seemingly, he goes down. He's following someone. The next morning, he's nowhere to be seen. Mom and Maddie, where's Terry?
You know what? Come to think of it, it is kind of an interesting directorial choice. I didn't even really think about this until now, but it's interesting that the next time we see him, he's full blown like in the Batman costume. So it's like there's clearly some action that he got into that we, the audience, are not privy to. I
love that we don't show in like a flashback or anything.
That's an interesting directing choice. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. So Maddie, nice show here. He's kind of covering for his brother here, saying, well, maybe he's made his bed and just left before we got here. Yeah, but when does he ever make his bed?
Right.
All right. So Max is covering for Terry at school with Dana, saying, well, he's probably sick. Figuring, he's up to Batman stuff probably.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Dana a little concerned, like, yeah, I'm worried about he's got really sick overnight. That's nothing to sneeze at. She's worried he's sick, and then she's worried he's missing. The undercurrent of him being missing.
All right, and then Dragon, we get a
McGinnis.
We get a McGinnis.
I'll take a McGinnis over here, waiter. See, we like our Guinness with an M in front of it, like McGinnis.
God.
So seriously, love around McGinnis over here, bartender. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so Bruce is calling Terry on the comm, and nothing of McGinnis. Can you hear me? So Tiki, of all the McGinnis, the whole reason we have a McGinnis counter is for a scene like this, where this is like the stock, like, okay, McGinnis.
Totally, yeah.
It's the perennial guy in the chair line that Bruce Wayne has in Batman Beyond, in case like he's checking on Terry and kind of with an urgency, like, McGinnis, can you hear me? Technically, he says it twice. We're just going to count it as once because it's all the same.
Count it once. That's fine. Yeah.
So that brings our count to 16.
Okay. Getting up there. I feel like the past few episodes we've been making up for lost time.
Yeah, it does feel that way. All right, let's see. So Bruce, he goes to find him, and he's driving the upside down Batmobile. I love when he drives the upside down Batmobile. It brings me so much glee. All right, so Dana, yet again, Tiki. See Dana?
Yes, I see.
She's
Dana.
worried. She's worried, Tiki. Note how she's worried, and she's concerned here.
Okay, but it's like 4 minutes into the episode, and I'm pretty sure this is the last time we see her.
Yes, the 3 scenes that we have, Dana, all scenes concerned in character growth. I'm sorry that upset you.
All right.
Anyway, so she mentions like she's been doing her due diligence. He hasn't even been home. She checked me, and then
that's true. She does check at home. That's true. That's a good point. All right.
Must be an emergency with Mr. Wayne, says Max.
Uh-huh.
All right, anyways, this is like over the phone, and hangs up the call. Bruce Wayne is at the door. He's looking for Terry, and with the first big interaction between the person, and the first line that Bruce says is pretty much a Family Guy moment. It's like we're saying the title of the.
He said the thing. Where's
Where's Terry? Just to the point, all business. I mean, we have a lot of great Conroy contenders in this episode. This is
I
not
have
it, but it's
one
pretty good.
specific great Conroy moment that is on the more comedic side.
Me too.
And it's literally a single word he says. We'll get to it when we get to it.
I think I know what it is. We'll get there. There's a lot of so we get all right off the bat, like Conroy's in rare form this whole episode. Because one, this is a great episode for Conroy because he is. Again, Bruce Wayne's getting to interact with people that aren't just Terry McGinnis for a change. Like for one, we have that going for it.
Uh-huh.
Two, it's the fact that we have like an undercurrent of Bruce is really worried about Terry McGinnis, so there's some pathos underneath. We get some comedy in this episode with Bruce Wayne, no question, but still, exciting new situation. There is concern. There are parables and levels that will feed into a Return of the Joker movie.
Of course.
So yeah, there's a lot going on here. So again, where's Terry? Essentially, Bruce Wayne's audition for Phineas and Ferb right now with Where's Perry? Where's Terry? Where's Terry?
Jesus Christ. Now I'm just picturing Kevin Conroy saying all of Phineas's lines. Gee, Ferb, we need to make a roller coaster in the backyard.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Ferb?
God.
Where's Perry?
Oh, God. All right. Oh, priceless.
Anyway, so Max also concerned. If basically Bruce Wayne, if he's out with Bruce, then Max is really concerned right now. Okay, so
yeah, totally.
If he's doing Batman stuff, he's completely.
It's kind of like the equivalent of like, oh no, my daughter didn't come home last night, and she's not at her best friend's house.
Exactly. So Max tries to tag along, and Bruce is just shutting her down, like, "Go home."
But I love how succinctly Max makes the point of like, try and stop me. And there's just physically nothing he can do. Nothing.
So I love that it goes from like "go home" to "I said go home." It's just "make me." But again, it's just a bit where it just stops, he shoots her the bat glare. She is intimidated, but she just back up like, oh boy. For a moment, again, she gives him some distance. Like he makes peace with like, well, I can't stop her, but All right, so the reluctant duo, again, already with like a buddy cop dynamic here, which is already kind of a fun idea for the episode. The duo head to the subway to investigate, and we then check in with our hero, Batman, and Terry in the Batsuit. He wakes up in the rubble. Nice little mystery vibe of what the heck happened. So Batman is found by Dak. No, not the Star Wars character, different Dak.
Wait, what which Star Wars character?
Yeah, it's more Luke Skywalker's friend that is kind of the friend that we mentioned. And I'm pretty sure he is in Empire. Like we see him in Empire, like flying around with him. But Dak is like like he was shooting things in Dak with Dak.
Okay.
On Tatooine.
Deep cut Star Wars reference.
That's the thing. So Dak is a deep cut. The main reason I remember Dak is that Dak is referenced in the Family Guy Star Wars thing.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
So Dak has a moment in Empire where he says, "Get ready to suck some Dak." And, when he's like, "Hey, Dak says he can win this for us." He takes on the Empire single-handedly, gets blown up. So that's kind of the gag.
I'm pretty familiar with Blue Harvest, not as familiar with the other two. So yeah.
So that was in something Dark Side.
Fair enough.
Anyway, point being, but Dak, actual Star Wars character, just very, very low level Star Wars character. Anyway, this Dak, far more stay power, I would say. Basically, he is a runaway he's Underdweller beyond.
pretty much, yeah.
Snarky kid, snarky kid. He's.
I love the fact that he's Hogarth. I really do, because I feel like he just fits that mold so well.
I just love that there is a Batman Iron Giant kind of connecting point.
I know, right?
That's what has me thrilled. So he's snarky. He's like skilled. He's down. He's been living down there. He knows like all basically how like all the little hidden subway kind of. Basically, there's a lot of underground paths in the old Gotham subway that's basically been refurbished. And he knows like all like the. Here's all the construction paths and everything. He knows like what's down there. So again, Terry's woken up. He's found by Dak. He tells him that there basically exposits there was a cave in, and the last thing that Batman remembers is he was following someone he recognized. Then there was a cave in.
Uh-huh.
Dak wants Batman out of there ASAP. He wants him out of there. He leads him to the exit. Meanwhile, we reveal the stranger danger guy was Ollie. Ollie was the guy. Ollie, the Michael Rosenbaum sidekick to Shriek that we set up in Babel. The other,
Yeah,
aka the weird tuning fork guy.
right. I'm
You
not
remember
gonna
the weird
lie.
tuning fork guy?
I do. I kind of remember him, but the thing is, I feel like I probably should have rewatched his episode before this. Because you know me and Memory Dragon, we don't get along.
Nope.
Honestly, I remember the design more than I remember anything that he actually did. So,
Well,
yeah.
look, you don't really need to remember a lot. Just the voiced by Michael Rosenbaum, sidekick the Shriek, and also he had the weird, oddly sexual tuning fork thing in
Right.
in that episode. Remember, he's using it's stimulating the pleasure center of the brain with the tuning fork, and it's like, ugh.
All right, Kogias says the only Bruce that hates Max more than Bruce Wayne is Bruce Tim. I don't necessarily think
He
Bruce
doesn't
Tim
hate
hates
Max.
Max.
He just didn't want him romantically hooked up. He didn't want to force a relationship, which
Which, I
again,
mean, objectively false opinion, but I respect it.
an objectively false opinion. Anyway.
Right.
Okay, so meanwhile, so again, Ollie's the guy that he and Shriek have been hiding in kind of the basically the abandoned part of the subway. He learns that Batman's still alive because he basically they have this monitor that's kind of tuned into sonic frequency, so they're hearing some activity down the halls, like the echoes and everything being picked up. So okay, Batman must still be alive. Shriek suits up and basically exposits the part of the episode we did not see. But this is a good hideout, but the tunnels, all the twists and turns in the tunnels means I can't aim my sound blasts, which is what led to that cave in. So I can only fire my best guess at Batman.
Uh-huh.
All right, so he fires another sound blast. Now this is a really cool effect that we.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. The animation on this when all the when the ceiling of the sewer starts caving in, it is really cool. It's a really cool effect.
Yeah, I love the traveling little sound wave on the
wall.
Yeah. That's really cool. Anyway, so we learn that Dak is a runaway. He's basically Batman saves the kid from the cave in the middle of as this happens there. As basically everything's coming down around him. Batman grabs the kid, saves him, and now the duo end up trapped together in little pockets that is caved in.
Uh-huh.
Also, a little bit of Dak being a runaway. There are some slight parallels to one of my favorite episodes of Batman the Animated Series with I Am the Night, where Batman kind of steers the runaway straight. That was voiced by Seth Green.
Sure. A little bit.
Mainly with how the episode ends, but
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the radio's no good. There's just again Eli Marienthal here. He's just playing it so opposite to Hogarth. Basically, what Hogarth was in a bad mood, kind of. That's essentially like any idiot knows. Like the radio's no good down here. You might as well be talking to yourself. Oh, also, you know what else he kind of reminds me of? The way he's playing this character. I'm sure you're going to love this.
Oh God, what?
Louie from We're Back a Dinosaur.
Oh my God, yeah, totally.
There's a lot of Louie.
I know I act like I'm the original tough guy.
But that was the Fonz.
Oh my God, dude.
He doesn't say that, but that movie would be even better if he said that line, though.
I'm gonna have an out of left field romantic relationship with Lisa Simpson, yo. Right.
Without the saxophone. Take that, Clinton.
Oh,
all right. So,
I wonder if Bill Clinton does really appreciate Lisa Simpson because of the saxophone thing.
I'd like to think so.
Wouldn't that be adorable if he did?
Well, I'd like to think he's a president that took the Simpsons in better humor than the previous administration.
Oh man, you know about George Bush Sr. and the Simpsons, right? Oh man,
that's the thing. That's why I mentioned.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I believe Clinton really did appreciate the Animaniacs joke. So who knows?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so Bruce Wayne, he's stuck with Max. So he's just like, you have this little exchange, like, still here. Hey, I want to find him as much as you do. Have you seen anything? No. Why do I need you? And then she kind of she comes back at him here with like, have you seen anything? And he's like, he's kind of stymied, so he doesn't really have a good response there. But he'll find something though. Anyway, so the tease, Tiki, the tease. They walk by.
Yes.
Yeah, there's only one other funnier version of the tease there could have been in Batman Beyond. They're all patterned after Mr. T.
God.
No, but the T is basically the rival gang to the Jokers in the universe, who we've established. Basically, a bunch of guys with like kind of almost like the Michael Holt Mr. T, kind of like look without them, like little painted T's on their face.
I
Which
love
I
the
still
wah on these guys as they walk by.
You're like, oh yeah, you're the Walla.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, typical, good Walla there. I love the bit here. I love the bit where Bruce Wayne's like grasping the cane because he's getting ready, like a bunch of street gangs like walking by, and he's ready to spring into action just in case. I just love that detail. Max spots Terry's backpack, points out to Bruce Wayne, that's Terry's backpack. So putting things in motion there. Meanwhile, Batman, he's looking for a weak spot in the wall to use his explosives on. He finds some condensation on the wall. That is, in fact, the Gotham River, which will come into play later in the episode. Of course, Dak here, he's like, well, that'll lead us to that'll give us a quick death versus a slow death, which is what we're working with now. Meanwhile, Bruce and Max, they follow the T's to their hideout, and oh boy, we're getting some good stuff here. So Bruce tells her like to stay here. Bruce knocks on the door, saying he wants to buy a backpack.
Okay, this whole scene, it's very amusing to me just how unprepared Bruce Wayne is in this moment. Like with he is not an improviser, right?
I love that he does not, well, partially pun intended here. I love that he does not bat an eye in this scene. Okay, I love that he's saying it with the straightest face and he's just going for it.
Right, yeah.
I'm here by. You get a sense that in the back in the day, Bruce, the Bon Vivant Playboy Bruce Wayne, he might be able to get away with this, but even so, still street toughs. It's still not going to end well for him. Anyway, so I love the tension here, where he's just going up to the T's. He says, "I want to buy a backpack. Does it look like a store to you? I'll pay a fair price, a very fair price." He walks on in. It's just like, so yeah. Oddly, this is gonna come back, and I want you to make a mental note here. The T that has the backpack is voiced also by Michael Rosenbaum.
Ah, nice.
So make a mental note of, again, Kevin Conroy and Michael Rosenbaum being paired together, as they will be in Justice League, but as they might be in another scene.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, so he says, yeah, and you just had to have it. It's just like, yeah, I just had to have it. Something like that. So not even blinking, he's just going along with this, and he's just like, how about 10 credit? No, 20 credit. I love it. These guys just, they're really lowballing. Bruce Wayne, they can get so much more.
I know, right? I did enjoy that. Yeah, it's like they do not know who they are dealing with here.
Like 20 credits, 30, but I want to know where you got it from. So then they dogpile on poor Bruce Wayne, they dogpile on the old man. There's not sporting at all, these T's.
Not at all, yeah.
And they want to know, why do you really want this? Yeah, so here I have a question for you, Tiki.
Okay.
Now, do you think Bruce, on some level, because we've well established that almost every time Terry McGinnis keeps the bat suit in the backpack, do you think Bruce is going after this backpack primarily because it's a clue to where Terry is, or do you think it's that he's worried they're going to find the suit that's in the backpack?
That's a good question. You know what? I like when I first watched the episode, I definitely thought he was just trying to go for a clue to where Terry is, but I didn't even really consider the whole thing about the suit, so that's a good point. I think like I said, I didn't even really think about that side of things.
I think it's kind of both, but I think I don't know. I'm just saying it has been like well established. He always keeps that suit in that backpack.
Right, yeah. Which, speaking of which, I'm glad you brought up that particular point because now I feel not as dumb to bring up. Isn't it a little weird that that Bruce didn't recognize the backpack to begin with?
Well, he was. I think he. Well, we saw him grasp that cane. I think that was him more prepared to fight him off, and I think because of that, Max was just like she was a little more tuned. Like she's seen the tease around. Like Bruce isn't really on the streets as much. Like he knows
Okay,
about the gangs, but he's not really. I don't. Let me put it this way. I think you have a point, but by the same token, though, I don't know if it's something.
Well,
Bruce
it's not a big deal at all. It's just kind of like it would make sense that Max would know his backpack more than Bruce would. So I'll leave
that's
that.
the thing because I think like Bruce is kind of he's not really paying attention like what Terry's backpack specifically.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
and you're right. She goes to school with the kids, so she would know.
Yeah,
also, let's face it, from a writing standpoint, we need to give Max something to do. We need to give her some value in the field here. So,
unlike Dana.
Hey.
I'm sorry you set me up for that.
Stop being mean to Dana, you monster. She didn't do anything to anybody.
She
got abducted by a rat
in her room, being worried. That's it. That's all she's contributing.
She got abducted by a rat man. Be sensitive, you monster.
Oh God, that episode was fucking disturbing.
She's a poor victim, man, and you just keep piling on. Like the teas are piling onto this poor old man.
All right.
Anyway. Okay. Let's see. So, Batman and Dak, they're having a little chat. We're like, as he's getting ready, he's looking for weak spots and everything. Dak says, like, half the kids wanted to be you in school. What about you? I'm the other half. Basically, Dak wants to be guys like Blight or Spellbinder. Remember the Royal Flush Gang? And Terry's like, wait, what?
You've got to be kidding.
Gotta be kidding! Like, basically the appeal to Dak is that these guys they went against society. They're not letting anyone tell them what to do. Again, classic runaway logic there. Here's what I really love about this exchange. I love that Terry is getting a taste of the impact that Batman can have on people, but in a funny, irreverent way. Of like, it's less like, "Oh man, I love everything you do," versus like, "Man, you stink." He's just getting the opposite end of it. The whole it's kind of like a Batman kind of inspiring the youth, where it's just a case like, man, it's like he's just getting the raw end of like seeing how Batman's effect on people. All right, so he tosses a rock and he finds a hollow spot, which is their way out. He's planting the explosives, and Dak is like wondering, like, wait a minute, if you're wrong, you blow that wall, use too much of that stuff. So you think Blight would have worried about something like that? Again, he's got the kid's number right there. Like, yeah, we know for a fact Blight wouldn't give a crap about how much explosives he used.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so to make some proper introductions, like we get into what is his name? Dak. What sounds like a throat lozenge. Like it's Darius Arthur Kelman.
It stands for Disney's Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, Dragon. That's literally what I see when I see those three letters put together.
Really? I'm surprised you didn't go like almost. Every time I see Dak, I keep thinking like almost like Tak from the Power of Jujube. That's kind of how I see it. The letter off, mind you. So yours is better. Yours actually tracks and makes sense.
Right. Because like us Disney Park fans or ex Disney Park fan in my case, there's like the DCA, Disney California Adventure. We like our abbreviations, Dragon.
Right. Okay. So we plant the explosives. Terry throws the batarang. Here's a little fun fact, by the way, because I've mentioned this before, but just to really put a fine point, it's been a while since I've ever pointed this out. They reuse explosions constantly to save money whenever they do explosions in the DCAU, particularly the Batman stuff, because you'll notice. If you ever freeze frame the split second of the explosion, like after like the explosion starts, they pull an explosion from a prior episode from way back during either Batman the Animated Series or but usually the new Batman Adventures. That's the one they usually use. So like when the impact of the explosion, you probably see something from maybe like Beware the Creeper or something, like something from the new Batman Adventures. Little fun fact. So every time you have like the quick, like it's like less than a second, that's what they're pulling.
Uh-huh.
just to save money on animating the full explosion.
I mean, honestly, I would never be able to notice. I don't really pick up stuff like that. Like for example, animation errors. I don't really care about either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. So, blow the wall. They interrupt Ollie's lunch,
oh God.
aka his burger time.
Yes, yes.
And we reveal they guess wrong on the wall. There's a support beam there, hence the hollow sound. So, and they're out of explosives. There was a small opening in the ceiling, though, not big enough for the Batman to exit through. But nice moment here. Batman tells Dak to crawl through to freedom, hopefully to get help for him. But Dak points out, like, wait a minute, you trust me to get help for you after everything I said? And Terry has a moment here where it's a moment that would make Bruce proud of his boy.
God, I'm proud of my Terry.
So seriously, there's this moment of like, it's better one of us gets out than none of us. It's like, yeah, there's a great self-sacrificial. Like Bruce chose the right kid, man. It's a moment that makes you feel good about your choice of Batman right there. Like, yeah.
Totally.
This is the fact that that's Terry's instinct. Anyway, so Dak. Plus, it also adds in like what we've seen characterized with Terry. He probably sees a little bit of his brother in this kid, so of course he would want to get his brother out.
Oh, I would definitely think so. Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, Dak climbs up. He starts to escape, but unfortunately, he is greeted by Shriek. Okay. Meanwhile, Max, she's getting a little concerned over Bruce here. Some time has passed. She intervenes before Bruce Wayne takes a beating on the floor.
Yep.
Do you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, she's basically saying, is this where I go to party? We're the T's. No one parties harder than us, babe.
And she wants to make some kissy face. At least she's leading them to believe that.
Right.
This is like, oh, close your eyes. Now we like to watch. Don't say it in the morning. She maces them. Yeah, pepper spray.
I just like to watch you guys.
Yeah.
Denny's in the room.
Right.
He's just randomly there in the corner.
If only we could have maced that guy. Tommy Wiseau being like, oh, Greg, so funny. Mace. Oh, God. Tommy, why? First the beard, now this. Oh
my God.
Anyway, so Bruce, this is great. Bruce now free. He whips the tees with that cane. Like,
hell yeah, he does, man. He weaponizes the fuck out of that cane.
God, does he? So yes, he's hitting them when the tees are fleeing, and of course the Michael Rosenbaum tee, the one that found the backpack. He's a straggler. He's sticking around there, and we have this runner of Conroy and Rosenbaum here, where our Rosenbaum T refuses to tell Bruce Wayne anything. And then we have most likely, at least for me, probably the Great Conroy. There are other contenders, I'm aware, but this is great moment where Bruce turns to Max and he says, would you step outside for a moment, please?
Okay, that's teeing up my Great Conroy moment, but my actual Great Conroy moment comes right after.
Yeah, that's good too. I think, again, we're simpatico, though. We're in the same ballpark.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, would you step outside for a moment, please? And we just cut to Max. Great detail. Over the hands are shaking as she's
excellent animation detail right there. Yeah, excellent animation detail for sure.
Yeah, it's very, very Karen Page from Daredevil. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the hands are shaking, the gum is interrupted. Bruce Wayne emerges with the backpack and the information. Basically, they're in a shelter below the subway station. He found it, and Max is asking, do you know he's telling the truth? Yes.
Yes. There it is, right there. I think that's got to be it, Dragon. I think it's got to be it.
No, I agree with you.
With one fucking word, Conroy conveys just how much of a badass this Bruce Wayne still is.
I'll second that. That's yes. I'll second that 100%. Yes.
All right.
Literally, yes. It's an awesome moment. How cool is that moment? There's Bruce Wayne. We don't see what he did.
Yeah. Totally.
And he's just so sure. Okay, that guy. You got a lot of information. We know for a fact he walked out the backpack. It's the idea like he wanted her to step out of the room because he knew what he was gonna do might traumatize her. Like, tell me how cool that is.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's great.
And meanwhile, so Shriek, basically Shriek using the echo chamber, she tells Shriek tells Batman that that he has a hostage now. Dak calls Shriek an idiot, saying, "You think Batman's gonna like trade his life for mine?" Which is kind of Shriek's mo. He did hold the city hostage for Batman like last time, so this is kind of Shriek's go-to move. And he says, "Like, no one's this is Gotham, man. No one's. I know people. Okay, they're not gonna. People aren't gonna sacrifice themselves for each other."
Ugh.
And Shriek,
I will say, I think that setup was like maybe a little bit on the nose, Dragon.
I mean, I think we kind of needed to get the kid to his arc of like, okay, so the kid's gonna,
Yeah, I realize it's to get the kid to his arc, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like you could have got to the arc without literally spelling out like, gee, people don't go out of their way to look out for other people. That stuff just don't happen. I don't know. I thought it was a little rushed. I don't really think we needed it. But again, I am nitpicking here. So, you know.
I don't disagree, but I do say this. I do like that it does bring into effect again the change that the mission of Batman is trying to do, where it's about the people of Gotham being skeptical about this sort of thing. That aspect
Sure,
saves
sure.
it for me. Anyway, so Dak accidentally, as he's getting cocky, trying to tough talk the bad guy here, he gets cocky and he accidentally lets it slip that Batman is trapped.
Uh-huh.
He says, "Maybe I don't know Batman anything, but I sure as heck don't know you anything." So it's going to land him some hot water. Or I guess more like a flood of water, but we'll get there. Bruce, meanwhile, he won't let Max come with him because now he knows where he is. He's got to go like pull Batman out of the fire. He's like, "Hey, I saved you tonight, not the other way around." And this is Bruce actually giving her props here. "You're good, better than I thought."
Yep,
But
yep.
it's not about you. And here's another line. It's a good contender for great kids. You're right, not a yes. It's not the yes, but it is also pretty good. Yours is like, "I don't know if Terry's dead or alive, and that's enough for my conscience."
No, I that was going to be my runner-up for sure. That is like the serious Great Conroy moment. Whereas, yes, it is serious, but it's still like it's almost like comical how much of a badass he is in that moment. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. But also, again, I like this line has the connecting point to the whole Return of the Joker thing, where again, Bruce Wayne is affected by his essentially his side, for all intents and purposes, his I know it's more like his replacement, but his sidekick in a sense is his Bat family member has gone missing, and he's been in this position before, and it does
Exactly.
haunt him. The idea like looking for a period of time and you're not finding that person you care about, and then all the thoughts that go in your mind of could they be dead or alive.
Uh huh.
And of course, knowing Batman's origin, that's definitely going to resonate with him even more so. Just the fact of like someone you care about being dead, but not knowing, not being there, would be traumatized. It's even worse. Okay, so uh, this is like all due respect to your conscience, but I don't. It doesn't mean diddly to me, Mister Wayne. Your conscience don't mean diddly, says the great
Bree
Cree
Summers
Summers.
just saying the word diddly with all the freaking pathos that she can muster.
Yeah. All right, so this is I always love this. This is one of my favorite parts of the episodes in terms of like kind of a fun comedic standpoint. Bruce sees the construction workers fixing up the subway after all the tremors hit from the sound, all the sound attacks. Bruce appeals to her, so like, "Hey, I'll distract them for you. You go in there, you find them, be careful."
uh-huh.
So he just walks up and I love he's pulling out a little bit of like like the Bruce Wayne charm here. He's like, "Working late, fellas."
No, I do love that. It's just the genuine, like, curious old man role that
Yeah.
he's played. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then again, this legitimately okay. This is what I'm talking about. There's so many great Conroy runners up here because again, yes is the winner, but this moment here is classic where he he just completely sells Max out with the old man with like that kind of like the doddering old man kind of thing here, where he's just like, "Hey, should that young lady be there?" It's the way he says that. Should that young, it's the observational passerby old man. It's like, should that young lady, and he said, you could see with a smile, with glee, he
Right,
sells her
right,
out.
right,
That's what's great about it. It's like with glee, he says, should that young, because she's been getting on his nerves, mainly because she's been right, but she's been getting on his nerves the whole night. Should that young lady be down there? It's like, hey, he just rats her out. She's like, hey, that old man, this is unbecoming for Max, though. okay, she's got to realize, even if he is selling her out, it's going to be to help Terry. So it's like,
Of course, of
no,
course.
no, no. The old man told me to do it. It's like, come on, Max. Like, she kind of brought some of this on herself.
And what's the cherry on top of this whole scene?
Bad
We
exit.
get one of the only Bruce Wayne bat exits of the series.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So, Dak cleverly. Also, we go from one misleading to another. Dak misleads Shriek into like the flooded tunnel. Basically, Shriek blasts the wall, and he ends up flooding himself.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Batman has a rebreather built into the batsuit, which, again, headcanon wise, you could always read as that one time the suit got taken over and Terry almost drowned because he couldn't move in the batsuit. Presumably, it's like, hey, we're going to add a rebreather in your suit there. You're going to be okay now. A little progression. Okay, so Batman saves Dak from falling to his death. Shriek, he begins the monologue. He's monologuing.
God.
Then Bruce Wayne comes in with yet another contender. He's just on fire this episode,
He
man.
is.
Why do they always talk so much? Shriek turns around like whack. And I know that Bruce Wayne already doesn't like Shriek because he made him go crazy. That made him think he was going crazy in the first introduction of Shriek. So he always like Bruce Wayne just doesn't like Shriek. Just like wham, bam, right in the head. Just happened. I love he's covering too for the kid. This is like a classy moment. He's like, I just happened to be in the neighborhood. And he's like, he just walks off. Just like I was just passing by, hit the bad guy. I'm
just taking my Sunday stroll through the sewers, Terry.
Exactly. Just having to be in the neighborhood. Wax is the classy exit. Anyway, so then again, we have the full-on parallels to I Am the Night, where Terry is observing the youth being set straight. He's telling this to Bruce.
The arrogance of youth, if you will.
Yes. Arrogance of youth. This is like just another kind of Conroy thing here. I love where Terry tells him the youth's been set straight, like he's a runaway. Looks like he's going home now. Is Bruce Wayne saying good? Just in that line, again, not like a great Conroy, but still, this is like consistently good Conroy. Just him saying good does convey like, all right, this is the mission right now. We're helping out the people of Gotham right now. It's like this kid, it's a little like approval, like good. He helped set this kid on the right path. You know, he's going home. This is satisfying to me.
Totally.
Anyways, and also like the kid said, he said if I ever told anyone he was crying when I caught him, he would find me and kill me. All right, so anyway, they talk about the whole Max thing. So I spent the evening. So how's Max taking everything? Well, I actually spent the evening with her. Oh, so you two must have come to an understanding. And Bruce again with glee says, you could say that. And you see, Max, she's not a happy camper. She's still being manhandled by the subway guys. Are probably going to try and book her or something for trespassing. Right. It's like, hey, you look, I'll sue.
All right.
Then Terry returns home. He returns home, and his mom catches him. He's about to go. This. Oh my God! I just realized something.
What?
This is kind of a nod to Iron Giant, lightly. This is kind of a light nod to Iron Giant.
Is it?
Yeah. Where Hogarth he comes home, and it's seemingly he's about to go into bed, but his mom says like, oh, there you are, you're up early. He's nope, just making the bed.
Oh yeah, huh?
It
probably is a nod to Iron Giant then, yeah.
Yeah. So literally, Terry returns home. He seemingly is going to hit the hay. He's like, no, just making the bed. Oh, I'm so glad. I think you weren't coming home tonight. Who? Me?
No, go get ready. You don't want to be late for school.
Yeah, poor Terry, just not a wink of sleep. And well, he was passed out for a bit, but that's about it. That's all.
Yeah, right.
That's all he got.
Very relaxing slumber.
He's sleeping with the rats, but that's about it.
All right. Well, I did quite enjoy this episode. Granted, like I said, I do think that last episode was so good it almost kind of overshadowed this one a little bit. But, I'm willing to kind of let that slide. I think that this is still pretty good, pretty decent. Again, I don't want to say top tier season 2 because season 2 we've gotten some real bangers. But I would say if last episode was S tier, this is A tier season 2 episode right here. So yeah, enjoyed it quite a lot.
We have some comments. They're kind of fun. We might want to bring them up.
Yeah, I will. Just say your final thoughts really quick, and then I'll read the comments out.
Oh, sure. I mean, I've always really liked this episode, to be honest with you. I mean, this is like, along with April Moon, I feel Where's Terry and April Moon are like some of the most underrated episodes of Batman Beyond. So I've always really liked this episode, again, for the entertainment value of like Bruce and Max, like, teaming up, but also, a bit of the mission of Batman in there with him setting the kids straight, got some Shriek in there. Um, I appreciate that the structure is not like what we usually do, like in the whole like, kind of a mystery thing. We kind of taken out the main character and leave everyone kind of in a tizzy of like, well, where is he? I've I've always appreciated that aspect of this episode, so I think it's a nice, refreshing kind of change of pace, and it was an interesting way to kind of. I've always felt this, and we'll get to the next when we get to the last episode. You can be the judge yourself, but I've always kind of thought I kind of wish Where's Terry was the season finale.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good pool. I could see that because it does kind of like, it's not necessarily like a status quo shift, but like for the episode itself, it does play around with that.
I'm just saying, given that just from a simplistic point of view here, it's like, okay, so Terry is our main character, and we've built an attachment to him. We've seen his growth and his progression, and we take him off the table,
I could
presumably
see
by the
that. Yeah, that's a good
last
pool.
episode. Now, the last episode is a really good one as well, but you be the judge when we get there if you think that is if that's the better season. Now, of course, they never really timed these to actually be a season finale. They only did that once with the first season. So
It was really good.
it was. That's what I'm saying. So they've never really been able to do that again. So it's just purely by happenstance that this happens to be that happens to be the last episode. So it's not intentional or anything. But you be the judge when we get there if you think it's a satisfying season finale versus maybe this being the season finale. So
Okay.
all right.
All right. So comments. I'm gonna start with Little Blue because it's like not a joke. It's actually like addressing something. He says, "I keep forgetting to say this to you guys. I'm sorry I gave you the news on Pauly Shore right when you two started to talk about the court gesture. I was like, what was I thinking? Yeah, Little Blue, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it definitely did throw me off. I'm not going to lie. But that being said, the court gesture, like that podcast, it did kind of get a weird response because of the Pauly Shore thing. So honestly, I'm kind of glad that you did say something so that we didn't just look completely ignorant to that subject. So yeah, maybe the timing could have been better, but I still appreciated it. All right, and lastly, I'm going to read off the comedy stylings of Code Geass Anime Fan. All right, Terry, how come you didn't recognize my backpack? Bruce, it's not like you have a talking backpack like the one from Dora the Explorer. Terry, do you watch Dora? Bruce, no comment. All right. Kogia says, Bruce, Terry, you're like a son to me. Terry, really?
Really?
Bruce, yes. That means that I can ground you. Go to your room, you punk. All right. Kogia.
I really like this one. This one's funny.
Am I like a niece to you?
No.
A daughter?
Certainly not.
What am I to you?
The biggest pain in my neck since Bullock.
All right. Okay, and finally, Kogias, you play Mom, I play Terry, okay?
Where have you been?
I got kidnapped by a supervillain.
Sure you were. You were probably at a party.
Well, I did go to a party afterwards, but let's not focus on that. All right. Very funny, Kogias. Very funny. All right. Take us out, Dragon. What's next?
Doggone. A pup with pathos? The origin of Ace the Bat Hound. Can Terry find Bruce Wayne's faithful companion, or will the dog fights get him first? Tune in next time to find out. Same animated bat time, same animated bat place.
On the next visit to Batcave Beyond with Ace in the Hole.
Should that young girl be down there?
Yes.